This is by far one of the most interesting and cool videos I've ever made. I love the project, but most of all, I love the products I use to make this video. So if you want to see and hear about the products I use, please stay tuned. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's Marquet here, Lemon Creation, and today I'm gonna be doing watercoloring. Firstly, watercolor swatches, and then two completely different projects. I started already, as you can see, and the coolest thing ever, I bought these watercolor paints. Please do not be afraid, those are kind of samples. I just wanted to try them, so that's why I bought the smallest samples ever. And they are Masha's watercolors, and I bought them on Etsy, and you're gonna get a link to Masha's shop in the description box below, because I am so much in love with these watercolors. And what's very cool about them, and you see them already, it's that the fact that they are actually granulated watercolors. And I am learning watercolors right now, but I came once on YouTube, I think, across a video who was made with granulated watercolors, and I didn't know they exist. I didn't know that there is a specific name for them, because I knew that some of the watercolors can separate a little bit. So I decided first to buy Schmincke watercolors, granulated watercolors, but then I came across another few videos with Masha's watercolors, and I decided that I'm gonna go for them because I absolutely love them. I can see now that you have a reflection, a little bit of reflection of the light in the water, so you cannot see very well maybe the colors, but anyway, for now they are wet, so don't worry, later you're gonna get some pictures and you're gonna see it more clearly even now. But the whole idea of the granulated watercolors is that the watercolors are the pigment which is suspended in the wash, so in the water kind of, but if you add more water to the wash, and if this watercolor to which you add the water is having a sedimentary or granulated color in it, these colors will just stay on the paper, like kind of will be absorbed by the paper a little bit quicker than the rest of the colors, and that will make kind of a stains. So basically they will form a pools of colors independent to the rest of the color, just because they are heavier than the rest of the pigments, because normally watercolors are mixture of pigments, and as you can see on this, even on these small papers, Masha put the pigments like you know, the numbers with letters. Those are the names of the pigments she used to create this particular color. And so yeah, that's the thing, you know, some of these pigments are more granulated than the others, and that's why it causes the whole, you know, granulation on the paper, which is super cool, and you're gonna see it once the paints are dry. But already in this turquoise violet, which is the fourth color from the top, you can see how much the color changed. I really love that. You know, or mostly of you know that I love Lindy's. I love also infusions from Paper Artsy, so I basically love the colors which have this kind of a stain effect. So like, you know, pigments of different colors and this magic which is happening, you know, when they are just, when you add some water. And I know that Masha's watercolors will be one of my favorites. And I decided to make two projects with them. I used, first of all, as you can see, I'm doing the swatches. And I'm doing the swatches on a kind of a cheap watercolor paper, because for now I'm not a very good watercolor artist, so I use for swatches not very expensive watercolor papers. However, this one just here, it's a more expensive one, and I decided to see if there is a difference depending on the watercolor paper you are using. And while I was doing that, by accident, I just came up with this idea that instead of making swatches like, you know, like I do in horizontal lines, I'm gonna just add, because I ran out of space on this small piece of paper, so I'm gonna just add a little bit of, you know, watercolors, swatches, also in a vertical manner. So like right now, I'm sorry, tongue twister again. And then when I finished, I decided to actually go and turn that page into a whole project. I mean, I am crazy about watercolors. I find them so nice to actually work with. You can have these magical effects which you cannot ever achieve, at least I cannot ever achieve with, for example, acrylic paints. And I love that. I love this transparency, the fact that they are running out depending on the water you add. And that's also the thing with the granulated watercolors. Some of them granulate better than others. Everything depends also on the amount of water you add. And this I actually decided to show you. I bought a set of Horadam watercolors. It's a super granulation from Schmincke. And I decided to actually put them on the side of these swatches to kind of compare them to the ones from Masha. Look at that, guys. Beautiful. And they leave also this small border, which is super cool. So the Schmincke watercolors, I put them actually, because they are coming in tube, I put them in the small pans, and those are the 3 ones I bought. And everybody says that they are super cool. I think, oh well, they granulated not badly, but I think I chose a really bad trio of colors, especially this one I'm using right now. It's awful. I really don't like. It's like a dark green and dark red, and it looks really, really horrible. I mean, I'm sure some of you are gonna love it, and it's granulating better than the other 2, but I really don't like the mix of colors. For me, it's too, I don't know, murky, too dark, I don't know. So here are some photos, and look at that, the Schmincke watercolors. They are super expensive. You've seen the tubes are super small. And I do not see better, that they are better than the Masha's watercolors. And so I actually prefer Masha's watercolors. Honestly, I didn't get paid for that, for making publicity. This is really my opinion. So yes, I do prefer Masha's watercolors than Schmincke, but I have to tell you, because I'm living in France, I have to pay big import fees. So this is actually a very, very big problem for me. And I paid almost the same amount as I paid for the watercolors. I paid for the customs, so this is not cool. Schmincke I can buy on Amazon, so much easier. But I'm gonna try. For now, I'm gonna use up the colors I have here, because they are watercolors. They're gonna still, you know, last me for some time, I'm sure. And then I'll see. But I think I'm gonna go still, even though there are custom fees, I'm still gonna go with Masha watercolors. For now, they are really my favorite. So this is my first trial, my first project with Masha watercolors, and I'm using only Masha watercolors. I'm not using Schmincke. Schmincke I use only for the swatches. And this painting I am doing on the piece of scrap watercolor paper, because sometimes I cut watercolor papers to make either ATCs or just art journal pages, and if I have a scrap left, I want to use it. And lately I came up with this idea of making, like, you know, long horizontal paysages, a little bit of abstract, and maybe some of you have seen already my my art journal, kind of, with watercolor papers, which is having only papers of this size, so long ones. And I absolutely love it, because I just don't know, this is my thing, you know, to make a kind of like a paysages like that, which are long. I really love it. This form speaks to me. The fact that it's a long piece of paper, it speaks to me so much. And look at that, guys. I didn't use that many colors, I think 2 or 3 colors, and look how much they actually changed, and they got a different kind of pigments, like, you know, visible. It's really nice. But when I finished this project, I said to myself that the watercolors are not that visible, the granulation is not that visible because the piece of paper is quite small. So that's why I decided to do the second project, the more abstract one. Meanwhile, for this one, I decided to add a little bit of details. So I'm using my Uni Pin fine liner, and I'm adding a little bit of trees and a little bit of grass and a little bit of birds and whatnot. So sometimes you don't have to do it because sometimes the watercolor flows so nicely on the piece of paper that you can see actually the forms of the trees and all of that. But even here now, you know, I made a like kind of a line which is separating the darker part of the paint with the brighter part of the paint to make a kind of maybe, I don't know, like a line of the lake or something like that. I don't know. It's up to your imagination. And maybe I shouldn't add too much of this purple color on the bottom. But all I wanted to do is to, you know, showcase a little bit more the colors, and that's why I did it. But otherwise, I am really nicely surprised with the way the paints are working on the paper. It looks kind of like a fog and like a almost wintry or late autumn scenery, and I absolutely love it. And here I have, as you can see, I'm just adding kind of like random lines, you know, just to make the small accents to make it look a little bit like trees and a little bit like birds, and that's it. I absolutely love this scenery also. And let's go for the next project. So painting is very often, at least in my case, a kind of a surprise. Very often the projects I'm making, they are just the effect of something which I didn't plan. And this is one of it. So I wanted just to make swatches on the other piece of paper, make them, as I said, in horizontal lines. And then I added a little bit more, and then I decided I'm gonna add a little bit of doodles and make it a little bit whimsical, a little bit quirky, and hopefully something nice is gonna come out of that. So yes, I was using my Uni Pin fine liner, but because I have medium grain paper, watercolor paper, my fine liners were kind of you know, didn't want to cooperate. So I am changing, and I'm working either with the Uni Pin fine liners or with a normal pen, like normal black gel pen. And because I wanted the colors to be a little bit more visible, I decided that I'm gonna color the paper, the white parts of the paper, with the marker. So I'm using Pro Marker for that, the black Pro Marker. And I kind of didn't want to at the beginning to cover completely the edges. And so I tried to make some kind of, you know, shapes which are finishing beside the edges, but they just, you know, the edges are not completely filled up. But I'm gonna change that at the end, you're gonna see. And I found that at the end I didn't like these kind of, you know, empty spaces. And I decided to go for a little bit of like a stone pattern. And of course I'm gonna speed up the process I'm gonna go quite fast. But I did enjoy every single moment of it, and I'm gonna leave you with the music in the background, and I'm gonna come back at the very end. I want to also add, before I'll put the music on, that as I mentioned, I fill up all the white spaces with the black marker, but I also add a little bit of dots. I also would like to mention that I learned a little about granulating watercolors, how they work, from two people, especially Dr. Otto Kano and The Mind of Watercolor. Those are YouTube artists who are using granulated watercolors. I'm gonna give you links to their channels in the description box below. Meanwhile, this is the finished project. I hope you can still see the beautiful granulation effect. I hope you like it. Please tell me in the comments which one is your favorite. Is it a scenery or this one? And of course, share my video. That helps me a lot. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. And as always, please check my shop. Also the description in the links below. I'm having new stamps and a lot of new digifiles. I'm gonna leave you guys. I wish you beautiful, beautiful day. And I hope I'm gonna see you soon in my next video. Big kisses. Bye bye.